We're in the last week of the NFL, and today I'm going to make my predictions of who I think is going to win in this last week. So starting off, we have the Chiefs and Raiders game, and even though the Raiders are home, and even though the Chiefs had a hard time against the Broncos defense, I ultimately have to go with the Chiefs overall. Their offense is just overpowered, and they're going to just completely plow over the Raiders, is what I'm thinking. Jaguars and Titans. Titans have not been playing good football, and the Jaguars are home, and I think they need this win really badly over the Titans, and I think that will drive them to win. And overall, I think the Jaguars are just playing a lot better than the Titans regardless. We got the Steelers and Browns. This is a really good divisional matchup right there. Browns have been kind of coming into it slowly but surely. Steelers are doing good. They're looking good. The teams that they need to win against, they have been winning against, and I think they're going to continue that being home. We got the Ravens and Bengals. So I really hate that they canceled the game between the Bengals and Bills. That was one of the best matchups I was hoping for to see, and now we're not going to see it. So hopefully we get to see it in the Super Bowl. And I would really hate to see the Ravens win the game and then come down to a coin toss of who gets to be home in the postseason. I think that's a really scummy way to do things, and I don't agree with that. And I know there's probably a lot of Ravens fans out there saying, well, that's fair. It's not against the Ravens personally. It's just any team. I don't think it should come down to a coin toss. So just to kind of completely avoid that, I would just love to see the Bengals win. And they are home, and they obviously really need this win. And overall, I do think the Bengals are better than the Ravens, despite Lamar Jackson being out regardless. We have the Vikings and the Bears. The Vikings are definitely frauds in their record. And even if Justin Fields is starting for the Bears, they're still not a good team. They have a losing record. It doesn't matter. But I do predict the Vikings will win. We have the Patriots and Bills. The Patriots are my team. Go Patriots! I don't think they're going to win against the Bills, unless the Bills kind of just throw the game a little bit and pull their starters out and let the Patriots win, which I don't foresee happening because I know the Bills are fighting for the Chiefs for the bye week. So the Bills kind of do need to win this game as well. And so I just don't see the Bills letting off the gas pedal just yet. Dolphins and Jets. The Dolphins actually really could use this win because if the Patriots lose against the Bills and then the Titans lose against the Jaguars, the Dolphins actually have a chance still to get into the playoffs. So I think Dolphins are definitely going to play tough football against the Jets. We have the Buccaneers and the Falcons. You can't count Tom Brady out. Ultimately, I have to go with the Bucs, even though the Falcons are home. The Saints looked all right against the Eagles. It is important to consider that the Eagles have not been playing top-tier football the last few weeks. They've been kind of going on cruise control since they know they can get into the postseason. But they do need to win one more game, but we'll get to the Eagles in a minute. But that leads me to say that I don't necessarily believe that 20-10 victory they had over the Eagles was all that star-studded and what it was cracked up to be. And I do foresee the Panthers going over the Saints. With the Texans and the Colts, I can see this kind of going either way. The Colts are playing just slightly better football, which is not really saying a whole lot. And the Colts being home, of course, this is just kind of coming down to pride football at this point, but I do foresee the Colts winning against the Texans. The Texans are going for a good draft pick at this point. The Cardinals and 49ers. And the NFC, nobody wants to play the 49ers, so that should tell you something right there. So even though the 49ers are not going to be winning the division, they're also the scariest team in that whole NFC. And the Cardinals are just completely botched right now. I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals. They don't have a good quarterback, so they need a quarterback. And they just don't have a really good team, just in general. They really don't. And so 49ers at home, 49ers playing tough football. I could see them even putting on cruise control and still winning that game against the Cardinals. With the Cowboys and Commanders, the Cowboys played really down. And even though the Commanders have been playing pretty decent football overall this entire season, I have to give it to the Cowboys. They know they need to win this game. Rams versus the Seahawks. The Seahawks really need this win in order to put themselves in the postseason. So with that being said, with them being home and against the Rams, they should have an easy win. They should. They've been playing really bad football these last few weeks, but they know they need this win in order to go to the postseason. And I don't think the Rams are going to let them have it just because it's football, right? The competitiveness. But if they lose, that gives the Lions and Packers a good chance to fight for their postseason. The Seahawks don't want that. So I can see them playing tougher football than the Rams. And we get into the Giants and the Eagles. Eagles are home. Eagles have not been playing the greatest football. I do believe they have been on cruise control for the most part. But I do foresee them winning against the Giants because they know they need this win. And I do believe they are playing better football than the Giants, despite the last couple weeks. Chargers and Broncos. Chargers are playing just a lot better football than the Broncos could, even though the Broncos defense has not been too overly bad. I mean, come on. The Chargers offense, I think, can outdo the Broncos defense for sure. So the Lions and Packers game is actually at prime time, which is really cool, and I could see that game being a really good battle between the Lions and Packers. But the problem is with the Rams and Seahawks game, an earlier game, if the Seahawks win, I can see the Lions and Packers game not being that good of a game. That even though the Lions are going into the Lambeau, I think that the Lions are actually playing a little bit better football than the Packers, and I could see them coming away with a field goal victory. Those are my NFL picks.
Midfield. Out of the gun, they give it to Stevenson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by Landon Roberts. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Harris is into the end zone. Touchdown, New England. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.